Damn. See if I can get some people up in here. We're gonna go ahead and roll, man. What's up? This is Hankin TV. This your boy JT. If I say I done it, I did it. I got my man, uh, the original gangster Terrance Williams in the house. Hey, man, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Wow. It's Terrance Gangsta Williams. I'm in the building hanging out with the homie Hankin Tv. Let's get it.
All right, man. I've been seeing you've been doing a lot of interviews. I've been seeing the riffraff been going on. You know, you've been going through it with the boy Boosie. You've been going through it with the boy Nino Calvin. Um, but you know, we really ain't gonna focus on that, man. You know, we're gonna try to focus on the positive. Welcome home, man. I want to welcome you home. I did 10 years myself. Man, how much time did you do?
Thank you first. I did 23 years, 10 months.
And that was all fair time.
Yeah, all fed, day for day.
Okay, man. Remind the people where you from, man.
Born and raised in New Orleans. So New Orleans.
That's the home of them seafood balls, man. Everybody turned out on them balls now. Man, how did you get the name gangster?
I was in juvenile jail and my homie Stone. Well, a lot of people know as Killer Stone. He was part of D-Boy's clique. He had given me that name Lil Gangster when I was in juvenile jail back in 1990, 1991.
All right, all right, all right. Um, what charges did you have?
Back then I was on the charge with another guy, one of my homies, my best friend. He was in Angola right now as we speak. We were charged with armed robbery and aggravated battery. We had two counts of armed robbery, 2 counts of aggravated battery back then.
Okay, what charge did you have when you just did the 23 years?
Um, I was charged with 848 continuing criminal enterprise and solicitation to commit murder and a conspiracy to heroin. So when I pled guilty to the 848 continuing criminal enterprise and solicitation to commit murder, they dropped the conspiracy to heroin, but they really didn't do nothing because dropping the conspiracy to commit heroin, you would think that they would drop the drug case. However, the drugs were still in the 848 in the continuing enterprise. So uh, a lot of us need to, if we go, they need to learn the law, man, because they're tricky. They have you thinking you're doing one thing, and all the while that stuff that they drop is still up in the other case, in another count.
Right, right. I'm gonna refresh the people's memory, man. This is Birdman's brother, Cash Money, and I heard you talking about you started the Hot Boys, and that's how they got the name. Um, I'm kind of sure people are already kind of familiar with the story, man, because you've been burning YouTube and the internet up, man,
Yeah.
and I've been doing a survey, man. I was asking people, man, was telling on the dead snitching. And I notice everybody, no matter what we do, man, people always gonna pick and choose, man. And 99% of them people, man, that's commenting on it, they ain't did a day in prison, man. You know, they don't know how it feel to be laying in the belly of that beast, man, with your paperwork. What was your out date? What did it say for your out date?
At one time, it used to say deceased until a lot of people we start right before me used to complain about that, and then they just put on their life, or they'll try to put like 560 years, something like they'll put a crazy number on our like when we go to team. Team is when you go before your case manager, your counselor, and your unit manager, and they'll see what kind of progress you've been doing while you've been incarcerated. Like if you've been doing they'll tell you, like you go to team, I think every 6 months. It depends on how much time you have. Because some people go every 90 days, but I go every 6 months, and they'll tell me to do different, go do different program classes and bring the certificates back, and that helps out with your points dropping to move to another prison, a lower level. So yeah, man.
Right, man. I couldn't even imagine, man. having an outdate saying deceased, man. When I seen that 10 on mine, I couldn't see 10 years. I went down for a body, man, and I had it was three people on the case with me, and all they wanted to know was who was with me, who was with me. And the guys who was with me, they didn't do a day in jail. They didn't do a day in the county because I didn't tell them who was with me. But like I was saying, man, 99% of the people, man, 99.9% of the people that's commenting on your case, man, they'd have been done told. Because if I remember right, you said in the beginning when you first caught the case, they had told you if you turn on Birdman, it's only gonna give you 3 years, right?
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
and you know that right there, that's what would have been called snitching, man.
yeah.
Here, man, in this society, man, and the way that the era is, man, the world is backwards, man. You know, you got the best golfer black, the best rapper white, men wanting to be women, women wanting to be men, you know, and everybody talking this snitching stuff, but ain't nobody out here standing on nothing, man. You know, they out here messing with known snitches, and now they messing with the you know what I'm saying? And it's just messed up, man. I think I catch a bad rap, man. I want to salute you, man. And people don't even know, man, you're a part of history, man. I got this tattoo right here, this Hot Boy tattoo, 20 years ago, man. That's how
Wow.
you know what I'm saying. That's how much the Hot Boys had influenced the culture, man. How do you feel? How do you feel, man? With how the Hot Boys influenced the music culture, just the culture in general.
You know what? At first, honestly, man, at first, I was looking at it like it was a little neighborhood, local thing, and it wasn't until I entered the feds and I was around because in a federal prison, you're around people from all around the United States. So now you get to see different walks of life. And it wasn't until I was standing in line one day and it was a young boy. Now this little young boy was 25 years old. And I'm like, I've been incarcerated like 20, at this time, like 22 years, something like that. And I'm like, he was standing in front of me and we were getting ready to go to the chow hall, the kitchen, to eat. And I looked on the back of his neck and I seen Hot Boy on the back of his neck. I was like, what the world? I was like, man, this is something, then it started hitting me like, man, I didn't impact the world with this. So, it's pretty cool, but I don't want the younger children to think that they would have to emulate and go through the things that we did, you know, behind that name, because the name that wasn't just for wilding out the street. It was because uh, we dress nice. You know, the high boy term can be used for you nice looking person, jewelry. You got a lot of girls chasing you. You can always flip that for a positive. Too. It's not just negative. Hood violent type of stuff. But all that played a part in us coming up. But now, I just sit back now and I be like, man, it's cool because no matter what people say about me, and like I always say, you can hide history, but you can't erase it.
Right.
You know, so pretty cool.
So man, so how long before you came home did you and Birdman fall out?
Immediately,
Immediately.
immediately, I got that one call, and what I respect the most about him though, um, he didn't sugarcoat nothing. It was like, look, this is what it is, man. I don't respect that. Because Birdman is older than I am, but back then it was like at some point he kind of like we looked eye to eye. I would say I'm not gonna say he looked up to me, but we looked eye to eye. So it's like for my name to be attached to uh, rat, snitch, that kind of stuff, no matter what it is, because like I tell people, if it was a regular neighborhood Joe Blow type guy that did that, first thing they would say, boy, you was smart, you was shrewd, you beat the system.
Right.
But because it's me, and and I learned this that people need content. The YouTube, the internet is the way of life. So if you don't have no hot gossip for people, they get bored. People need something to log on to comment on. To keep it going. And I learned this thing clickbait. Where people put the I'm learning. So people put the little title up, and you go from there. So like I say, he immediately. I don't condone that. It's what I ain't, we don't rock like that. You made your bed, laid it. He was like, uh, it's funny now I sit back on it because I was like, I didn't expect that. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Uh, but I didn't think, I forgot how would I didn't think that their politics, he gang banging that would play a part with me. So I was met with that, and I'm fine with that because, like I say, him and Slim was there for me when I really needed them.
right. And
You
that's
know,
that's another reason why, man, why I salute you, man, because I thought y'all fell out, man. You didn't, from what I'm seeing, you didn't come home crying about it, man. You hit the ground running, man. You learning how to work this internet thing,
yeah,
and you out there, you chasing your own bag. Um,
yeah.
Another thing I want to ask you, man. So how did you feel? I know I heard you talk about the. If you want to briefly touch on the beat between the Calio and the Magnolia, which is Master P and Cash Money, because I'm gonna follow that with the question about how did you feel when you seen Master P came out with the movie The Hot Boys? But if you could, can you like remind the people between the beat for the Cash Money and No Limit?
Okay, see, it wasn't necessarily Cash Money No Limit beef. What it was, like, say you got Cash Money, you have No Limit, you have the artist, and then with just about, I don't know every, but I'm gonna say just about every label, you're gonna have the street dudes that's involved. So now you have, whereas Cash Money had the Hot Boys, and then No Limit had the Calio project, and the Hot Boys was representing the Magnolia project. So it was to a point whereas how could uh shout out DJ if I had him on my live yesterday. Shout out, homie. It was to the point whereas how could the artists on this label do a song with them, because you got guys that's in the streets that's really at it, so that wasn't going to work. So that's why it became like people look at it like a Calio, No Limit and Cash Money beef, when the artists really didn't have nothing to do with one another. Honestly, I think some of the artists might have wanted to work together.
Right, right, right. And that's played part politics. That played part of the politics. Um, Magnolia Slim going to Soldier Slim, right?
You know what? When he come on, man, and a lot of us was ticked off about that because you were Magnolia Slim, and then when he signed with No Limit with the Soda Slim. So I was thinking, I was like, and I never had a chance to talk to the homie about that because I was wondering, did P recommend he change his name to that? Because I wanted him to stay Magnolia Slim because it was like, you better go worldwide, and that
Right,
was our big dog,
right. Put the Magnolia out there.
right? You know what I'm saying? So, uh, yeah, man. So did he straightened out because he came with that song, Magnolia Slim, Soda Slim. Your hair is all the same. So I was like, all right, cousin, because he started that thing in the project Cousin. So I was like, all right, cousin, you got that. But straight soldier, man. I miss him, man.
I also done heard you talk about your paperwork. You said your paperwork, BG and Killer Stone had it back in 2010, 2011. So people want to call you a rat, call you a snitch. We already know your treatment rats and snitches get in prison. So what was the temperature around the prison, going around then about feeling about what you had did?
It wasn't. See, let me say this: in prison, there is favoritism.
Right.
It depends on what yard you go on. This what some of your homeboys would do. If they know you're gonna go, when I say go, if they know that you're not a sucker or soft, they're gonna leave you alone. Or how the penitentiary works is, if one stand up guy say, "Oh, he good, yeah, I see his paperwork," everybody gonna take it and run with it. So everybody don't have to check it. You know what I'm saying? So, but when I made my move, I was in the medium on the downside, ready to go home, get ready to go home. So it wasn't what's going on, what he doing, what he got going on, and then they gave me immediate release too. You know what I'm saying? So I remember jumping in the shower and they yelling my name. Come on, I didn't get a chance to bathe. I jumped up that water quick. What? I'm going home. So it was never nothing bad. I've never had, listen, since I've been incarcerated, man, I've never had no one to extort me. Uh, pass a note or suggest that I be extorted.
Right.
Um, I never had nobody steal nothing from me. I went years without owning a lock. Then I finally, I finally bought one like in maybe like a year or two before I went home, because I realized that the way the prison system was changing, you had a lot of youngsters coming in, who really didn't have nothing, and then you got some people that feel like, man, I'm gonna try him, I'm gonna try this. So I was like, you know what? Before I had to hurt someone or someone hurt me, behind my stuff, let me just put a lock on my locker now. But I've never had a problem with nobody stealing, robbing me, because in prison, guys get robbed too.
Right. Before you said why you had about a lot. For the people who don't know, tell them another reason why you bought the lot.
Because that's another form of a weapon too. A person can put that lock in that sock, and I done seen a lot of people get hit across their head, man.
Right. And it's funny that you touched on that because, like you said, if one stand up person vouch for you, everybody will roll with it. And it should be the same way now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you can't erase history, man. And I find it hard, man. Like I was saying earlier, when I did a poll, man. I've been asking people, it's telling on the dead considered snitching, man. And it's just 50-50, man. If you can touch on it, man, without giving up too much, man. Exactly how did you get out, man? What did you do? How did you get out?
Okay, see the state, right? I dealt with the state, and um, when when Boosie went off about that situation, a lot of people didn't do their homework. So if you go back to 2011, you had to say the name wrong. It was BG and Habizo. Um,
Okay, okay.
they did this at the time I had attacked those two on YouTube. So they did when they came back at me. Uh, they had the paperwork in the car, and BG was like, him and Hot was like, it's called taking your charge. And then they read and he was like, man, he telling on the dead. So they had the paperwork right there. But I was like, I didn't feel like going through trying to explain myself to Boosie or nobody else to get proof this, because my thing was when I came home, I didn't ask nobody for nothing. Like I always say, I don't buy friendship; it's too expensive, and I do my own thing, and it's another thing that I look at too. I was like, you know what? I was like, man, now I've been building my platform without Birdman. I was like, just imagine if I had Birdman on my side, I'll be out the roof. But the thing is, what I be on, what I'm on for is staying focused with my mission, reaching out to the average youth, helping the people, because sometimes, well, I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna say me, coming home, all the materialistic things that may have distract me, you know.
Right,
So, and I look at God do things for a reason, he was like, uh, I prayed, um, I said, in prison we get a chance to sit back and plot, put
right.
our
Reflect.
plan together. So this was my plan, and I looked at everything. I was like, okay, when you do something, this is going to come out. So now you're going to face a lot of scrutiny with this situation. So are you ready for that? Do you want to face that kind of stuff, or do you want to die in prison? So my thing was, it was easy for me. I was like, man, look, I'm gonna take this route because one thing about a homicide, it don't have a statute of limitation,
Right,
and you have cold cases, and when you close those cases, you are helping this certain detective get credit. So now in prison they have a thing what you call Rule 35, whereas when you cooperate, they write it to the prosecutor write it to the judge. It is up to the judge to grant it. I had a whole sentencing hearing. It's some more stuff that I had going on that I'm gonna put in my documentary. I'm gonna put all the paper, the stuff I went through with this situation, man. It was, what I'm saying. And after the judge took the life off me, he still made me wait 30 more days. All this in the paperwork, So I'm gonna put it on in my documentary for the
right.
people.
So before that opportunity presented itself, when you was first locked up and you had the life plus 20 years, did you feel like you was gonna get out one day?
As you know what, sometimes you be like, man, I'm gonna die in prison. Because every time they passed the law, this is another thing that I'm putting in my documentary. The first they came out with in 2014. They made it retroactive in 2015. It was called a two-level drug reduction, and what that meant was if you had a certain amount of drugs and you meet this criteria, you could drop down 2 levels. So I met that criteria. One of my co-defendant sentences was reduced. He's home now. Actually, he came home in July of last year. Why? Shout out, homie. Um, you know what that is? S at M. Uh, so I met the criteria because I only was charged with conspiracy to 6 ounces of heroin. Right now, the problem was I had the 848. For those who don't know what the 848 is, a continuing criminal enterprise, meaning you gotta have 5 or more workers. Now, mind you, the people that they put 5 or more workers for me were guys that had way more money than I had, was in the game before me, but because my phone was targeted, I had the leadership role, the boss role. And people like the real Rick Ross out of California, Big Meech, a lot of them big drug kingpin guys, they have the 840. I was one of the youngest ones to be charged with the 840 continuing criminal enterprise back then. So they hit me with that charge, and I was like, man, but then again, I was like, it carried from 20 to life. So, I just took, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and lay down, because they was coming with a lot of. What happens is this: is what happens when guys cooperate with the government write down a lot of notes.
Right.
So now, when you finally get arrested, they take all them notes out and they believe what other people say. So now they had, when my attorney was like, tell him we'll give him 3 years, if he give up, or if he, it's a lot of stuff alleged that Birdman is behind. So if he give us, we'll give him 3 years if he cooperate. It's like, oh no, that's my family, man. I'm not doing that. I was like, man, listen, let me just plead guilty, get out everybody's way. I was in my early 20s. I said, by the time I get home, it'd be all good. So happened when I pled guilty, a guy I knew in prison waited till I got transferred, and he went to the FBI, and he wore a recorder on my co-defendant in the jail, and they took the conversation that Birdman and I had when I was on the street. One of my homies ran it through a gun. They took that conversation. They took the paperwork with Habizel talking to one of the females. They took that police report, and then they took the dude who wore the recorder on my co-defendant in the jail. Now, mind you, right, I had to play guilty, right? I'm looking to get 20 years. I got 2 PSI. I'm going to put all this in my documentary so people could know and be aware of where the government played. Man, them people came back. We had a sentencing hearing. The judge said, by the preponderance of the evidence, I feel you had something to do with these homicides. And the man gave me a life sentence. I was never indicted. I was never charged. I was just given a life sentence at 23 for 2 homicides that I didn't do. But because I was the leader on the case and my case carried from 20 to life, I was given a life sentence, not even given a chance to exercise my right to go to trial.
Right. So, man, how many times you been shot?
I got shot in 91 in my foot. I got shot in 94 in my side. My left, let me tell you what's great. I got shot at the top left butt. The bullet traveled, I guess because I was running. It traveled across, shot a piece of my bladder, and came out my right thigh. And I got shot in 96 in my left shoulder, my under my right armpit, and it came out the middle of my chest. So that's about 5 times, I think. I got hit 5, but on different occasions.
Now we about to kind of get deep now, man. I can see you my guy, man, and I don't do nothing for clicks and views. So anything, man, you don't want to answer, man, just don't even answer it. Tell the people who Killer Stone is.
Oh, that's my big homie. Well, he's deceased now. He was out the Magnolia Project. He the one gave me the name Lil Gangsta back in juvenile. Guy that if he was with you, he took care of his crew. He took care of everybody. Actually, Killer Stone was there in the beginning of the original Hot Boy movement. He just was the man with the money, the big dog with the money. Good man, though, man. If he rock with you, he rock with you.
So he rocked with you.
Yeah, 1,000. Yeah,
I asked you that to ask you this. How do you
I
feel
know.
about his Obama baby, his the mother of his child saying he shot you, man?
I wasn't shocked. Let me say that because when I first got shot, it's a police officer that I knew. He came to the hospital, and that's the first thing he said. Man, they saying Stone the one shot you. So I was like, no, man, that's my big bro. I don't believe that. He the one actually brought me to the hospital, which he did. When I got hit up, I went in this alley, and I went in his house, and my homie Big G and my homie Mosquito, they both deceased. They came there yelling for me. I was like, I'm in here. I came out the house. I remember put my arms around both of them, around their shoulders. They brought me back up front. Stone had a black with gold edition Bravada. They threw me in his SUV, and he pulled off and got me to the hospital. But I remember as I was walking, a guy across the street was like, "Gangsta, gangsta." So instead of me looking across the street, I looked behind me, and I just remember a big guy with a mask around his face and a hat on, charging me with a big, like a 40 or something, a handgun, big handgun. He just was working that thing, and I was trying to get somewhere because I had just left. I was on the old side of the project, and I had left my bag and left in the house because in my sick mind back then, I thought that I was like, man, nobody got heart to come in my project to to harm me. That's what I thought. And somebody got with me. But I wasn't upset when she said that because in some form of fact, some of the stuff she say, uh, she be accurate with some of the stuff. Some of the stuff I'd be like, she kind of off. I guess she just, how some people get a story, then they put their little 2 cents in it.
Right.
So it's her story. It's something she running with. I know they had a child together, so at some point, I don't know if they did a little pillow talking, or what the case may be, or somebody who don't like Stone, who don't like me, may have whispered in her ear, and she, like I say, with this social media stuff, anybody could get a buzz. People love
Right.
gossip, they love a story. So, um, honestly, when I heard it, when she came out with it, and I have her number, I could call her. We talk. Her and I have a good relationship. Um, I started to play off the story or get on my platform and go up, to get my clicks. But I was like, I thought about his children, his family, and I was like, no, that's something I'm not going to indulge, entertain the coulda, shoulda, woulda, So when she came up with us, why I didn't reach out. Look, come on, let's go on mine. Let's talk about this. And da da da. I was like, nah, I don't do that. There's certain things you just don't do. And that was one of them. I just decided not to indulge in.
Right. By the way, you're saying he popped up and took you to the hospital. Do you think if you put the story together, do you think he could have been the one that shot you? By the way he popped up, if you run it back in your mind, and was it enough time and stuff like that? Was he breathing hard when he got you? Was he acting nervous?
See, here's the thing. It was at nighttime when I got hit, right?
Right.
So, okay, earlier that day, Mosquito and I got into argument behind a quarter. Um, a real quarter, not a drug quarter now, because we in my down where we use that term now. Man, give me a quarter, I mean like drugs. So I'm talking about a quarter because I wanted to use the pay phone because my beeper, this here was ringing, this was going off, and Mosquito and I, we had a thing where we was like, okay, we both hot boys, we both got girls. Let's see who people gonna go off the most. So his beat was ringing, he was going, but then mine started going. I was like, give me a quarter. He giving it to. He's like, oh man, I got even change. So with that, I was like, I actually got mad. I got my feelings. And the day that we were supposed to go to the east to Kenner, I'm gonna say the east. My bad, to Kenner. It's another city that people consider New Orleans, but it's another little city right by New Orleans, and that's where Stone baby mother, the girl who spoke out, that's where she's from. And I wanted to go. It's called a dump where they live at, and I wanted to go there because it was a female that I was messing with out there. But it was a few homies that was with us didn't have no females out there. A lot of them they want to go there. They wanted to go back in the project, and I didn't want to go back in the project. And when we got back in the project, Stone was there. He had marijuana for people to smoke, because he always showed love to people. So um, I got a homie named Logger, Logger Black. He's incarcerated now, and he the one that chased the person who shot me. He ran behind the person. When I fell, I turned over and I was like, I can't lay here. So when I looked up, I looked in the person, I looked up at the person was looking down at me, and he shot again, and the fire just went in my face. So I jumped up and we looked at each other for a brief second. He took out running and I ran. So and it was crazy that as I play that back in my mind, bro, I'd be like, well, that'd be an interesting movie, you know. Um, you know, it could be like how OJ wrote that book, If I Did Do It. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Right.
if Stone did do it, you know. Like I say, it was enough time for him to shoot me, get to his truck, get back in the project, jump in that truck. Listen, anybody who knows Stone know he's very intelligent, very smart, very intelligent. And you know, I learned a lot from him. You know, I did a lot of dirty cutthroat stuff. I was a little gangster. When I come home, I started feeling myself about '94. I was like, okay, no more little gangster. It's maybe '93. It was gangster now. You know, I took the lid off. I was like, I'm gangster now, and I just started violent. You know, feeling myself. So we started falling apart. You know, but that was always the big bro. You know, but like I say, he pull up. And to answer your question, was he breathing his I don't remember all that. Like I just know that he was behind the steering wheel, and they had put me in the back seat and they got me to the hospital. Um, the first one who came to the hospital with that rumor was the police. They saying Stone shot you. I was like, no, I don't believe that. That's my big brother. Um, but I remember a situation happening with me and one of the original Hot Boys. Uh, a move was put down. I don't really want. I'm not supposed to get this up, but because this was gonna be in my documentary. But
Exclusive.
a move was put down, and it was presented to Stone that when you deal with you know you've been in the game, and for some people who on here that's been in the drug game, they know that when you deal with your connect, they're gonna know where you live at in your family. So some drugs come up missing. It was me, but it was another one of the Hot Boys, and Stone didn't actually know what's one of the Hot Boys, but it was presented to him that gangster need to be killed or your family gonna be killed. Now, uh, a hit was supposed to be put out, but it was like, no, you got to do it. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, that cutthroat stuff, that one that Soda Slim got that cutthroat committee, that was real in my project, you know, because you know, greed. We all were young, people want money. It was greed, you know, and you got to keep in mind back then, Stones get like 20 bricks that I knew of or more. And work was going no more than from anywhere from 17 to 21,000 at a brick. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he was young getting it back then. We all were young. So, you know, we pulled a move on one of his connects, one of his Spanish connects. And one of the guys knew who I was, peeped me. Because, you know, back then I was real small, no hair in my face, you know. So it just was a lot of cutthroat stuff going on. I gave you all some exclusives that I was both that's gonna be in a documentary. Uh,
Right.
uh, but yeah, bro. Like I said, that situation is never gonna change how I feel towards him. Like I said, he's deceased. He's not here to defend his honor. So I'm never gonna get out and be like, you know, how people get out of character, get the disrespecting, and because at the end of the day, like I said, he have children and family, you
Right.
know, and every time I went to jail for a murder, he paid for my lawyer. He paid for me to. I didn't never get a bond because I always had probation or parole, probation. I mean, so he took care of me, you know, and I did a lot of dirt. So it's not like I was one of the people that was a shooter for Stone and was just straight, always honest and loyal. You know what I'm saying? Didn't do no cutthroat stuff. You know, I did my dirt.
Right. I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions, man. How do you feel about what you did, man? How do you feel? That's all that matters. How you feel? How do
Um,
you feel?
honestly, coming out the tunnel vision, I'm gonna come out the tunnel vision because when I was in the tunnel vision, because I'm gonna give you two sides. When I was in the all right, growing up, I hated rats, I hated snitches, I just couldn't stand them. Um, so when you look at it from a street perspective, it was wrong. And this is why I say it was wrong, because you know a lot of people have said that's not snitching. Let me say this: what people look past, and what a lot of guys look at, and what a lot of guys in prison look at is sitting down with the people. Period. When you go to prison, if down my way it's called debrief, up north it's called proffer. When you sit down with those people, that's a no-no. So that's why I'm not up in arms or upset with Birdman or a lot of my people who took the stance. You ratted, you a snitch. Um, because like I said, I made the rules. Never sit down and talk to those people, regardless what you say, what you tell the world or the people that I did this. How we know that? And Boosie had a good point. He said, "How we know what he did?" So that's why I don't get upset or get mad when people, come with those nicknames or say what they say. Because at the end of the day, I made that choice, and I can look myself in the mirror and say, you know what, you did all these years. Certain things you didn't give up. Certain things you gave up. But at the end of the day, you're free. This is what you prayed and asked God for. He put you here. Now what you're gonna do with it? So from on one hand, that was wrong. That wasn't right. And on the other hand, that's a choice I made. That's a decision. That's what I'm living with, and I'm content with it. And I don't regret nothing I've done in life, because what I've done in life has helped me become the man I am today. And I'm able to tell people, yo, don't do this, don't do that. But when you get in that game, this is what's going to happen. This is going to take you from your family. Your family is going to be hard on your family. Some family member not going to be able to come visit you. You're not going to be able to get money all the time, because in prison we have this thing where we feel our family owed us, or our friends and girlfriends and people owed us. So why you didn't send that money? Why you hadn't come visit me? Why you didn't send me an email? Why you didn't write me a letter? We had that sick mentality that everybody owed us in prison. So like I said, I never done bad in prison. I don't know how I feel to do bad in prison. My whole bid, cash money took care of me. I got the receipts. I got the stuff. I'm put all in my documentary. So I don't know how I feel to do bad, but I know I was tired of being in prison, and I saw a way out, and I took it. And like I say, it wasn't right. That's why I don't get up in arms and get on this thing and ranting and raving.
And that's what I'm saying, man. All these people, people got to realize, man, when you point one finger, you got three pointing back at you. And I
Right.
think anybody, man, that have been there doing all that time, and they people out here getting all that money, living the lifestyle, they'd have been told, man. They would have told. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically, man, with the culture and society can become today, man, become very hypocritical, man. So what's your plans moving forward, man?
I'm about to jump head first into my nonprofit organization, because that was my mission from prison. I started this while I was in prison back in 2011. It's called Hug the Block. So for anybody who want to help out, or I'm really serious about that. I got the documentary coming up. Queen France and I, we have the podcast coming out called Cappity Cap Podcast. I have I'm in work. I'm in right now. One of my little homies from New Orleans is writing the original Hot Boy movie strip. Um, I have a record label, entertainment company. I don't want to put the name of that out, because people hating right now, and if I get a good artist, they gonna say gonna get some backlash. So I'm gonna wait um, to announce that was me. Once I'm successful with that, I got a clothing line will come out. I got a nice clothing line, and I know certain people wouldn't rock it because I'm behind it. So I'm gonna wait to announce that. I'm just getting a face. It's just certain. I got a lot of stuff lined up, man. I've been home 7 months, so it's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to do, and I was doing it by myself. Till Queen France stepped in to help me out. So um, I got a lot of good things, positive things that's gonna keep me busy. Um, but my main thing is the children. The at-risk youth, um, and I want to go around to some of these shelters, some of the boys' home, girls' home, whatever, and talk to the people.
Right. Where can the people find you at, man?
I have an Instagram page. It's Terrance Gangsta Williams Home. HOME at the end. It's all one word. Terrance TERRANCE Gangsta GANGSTA Williams WILLIAMS All one word. That's the only Instagram page that I operate, that I own, that I have. And a lot of I answer my own. When people hit me in the DM, I answer everybody as much as I can. I try to get to everybody. It'd be a lot of messages. So be patient with me because I don't have no assistant or nobody checking my messages. I don't do all that stuff. I try to answer my own stuff. Um, there's another fake Instagram page with Terrance Gangsta Williams. They took the home. They couldn't use the home because I had wine. See Blackheart. So that's the only Instagram page I have. Is Terrance Gangsta Williams home. My YouTube channel is Gangsta with the dash. Uh, the original Hot Boy, THE, original Hot Boy. That's my YouTube channel. I have a Facebook page. It's called Terrance Emmanuel Williams. That's my real name. Um, I have a Patreon page. It's under Terrance Gangsta Williams. So who all want to support that, go over there. I got a lot of prison stories over there. And I operate off Queen France World on her YouTube channel. On her Instagram is official Queen France, and on her other Instagram is Queen France Agency. So I got a lot of content on her stuff, and I'm just trying to make it out here, man. YouTube so far real good to me, man. That I got monetized, so that's why I try to go on it just about every day, to keep content up because they got a check from me right now.
Hey, yeah, he definitely will answer them DMs, y'all. And I'm telling you, these interviews cost. So, we're gonna get this the last. We're gonna take this out the door, man. Tell the people about the time you dressed up like a woman to get your man.
Oh, let me tell you something. Now, this up for grabs. It's a person, one deceased, one in the feds. People say Meatball started that. It's a guy named Pooh Man out the Night War. He was known for doing it. So I'm, both of those guys are older than I am. So you hear a lot of stories. Sterling had got killed, and I was at home, and I was like, man, a few days had passed. I was like, okay, I gotta retaliate. I was like, but the way this project is set up, you can't just go in there downtown to Iberville. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna dress up like a woman. So I got the wig, got my daughter's mother the little dress shirt, put that on. I had my shorts on under there, but I had tennis shoes on. Why I see you, Ling Long? That's what kind of Ling Lang? You okay with the Korean, huh? Why much love you too. Um, so it was me, uh, uh, George Hankton, which is Telly Hankton's cousin. The two of us, Killer Stone, his brother Disco. The four of us went back there in his project. So me and George walking, so it looked like a couple walking together, right? And we had our gun. We had our gun under our arm pit. Because I tell a lot of people, it's easy to grab a person. You have it in the purse, or you trying to come, So we had it up. I had it up under my armpit. So as we walking, so happened a guy, he come around this building to come on the sidewalk, and I spotted one of the enemies. So I reached, and he spotted me, and he jumped back, and I shot, and my gun jammed. George, his nickname was Cup, he shot, his gun jammed. So I hit two more shots around the building because Stone and Disco went around the other way. I hit two more shots. We had handguns, slipping too. So both of their guns jammed. So man, these guys was prepared, man. They came out with them choppers, man, with the let loose at us. So we had to retreat. We had to run back to the car, and Stone had to put the car in drive. When you put the car in drive, get ready to put off, the doors lock automatic. So I'm like, man, open the door. So they getting off. So he finally get the door. We jump in the car. About 100 shots got at us, man. So I would say this safe is 104 shots were let off, only 4 from us, 100 from them, but they didn't hit me. They didn't hit our car. You know what I'm saying? So that was a botched mission. You know what I'm saying? So I tried that stuff, but yeah, man, that's where that had come from. But it was time to retaliate, man. But man, we wound up we could have been killed. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I tried all kind of stuff to get at my enemies, man.
Yeah, I done did some fun. I done did some crazy things to get my man too. Man, I appreciate you coming through, man. I was trying really not to ask some of the same questions everybody else to ask. I know a lot of stuff you want to put in your documentary, man. I really appreciate you coming through, man. I just want you to give your part of the story, you know what I'm saying? And let you know, man, 23 years and 10 months, man, that's a long time, man. You came home, you weren't bitter, you came home chasing your own bag. You're setting a good example for the youth. And you're doing your thing, man. I wish you much success, man.
Thank you, man. And let me tell you this here. Let me tell you why I decided to stay on longer because you the one took your time and showed me how to put my link in. You didn't have to do that. Remember,
Right.
you walked me through the step. Yo, press this. You had patience with me. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna stay this amount of time, but I'm gonna go over. I'm not gonna tell you that, but I'm just gonna rock with you, man. And I appreciate you for having me, man. So I'm about to get ready to. I might go on my live and hang out with the people for a while, get a little answer some questions, and I don't know. I might go take me a nap because I need to rest. Because I've been on this thing nonstop since I've been monetized. Because that check looking good, man.
I already know this was my first live, man. This was my first time, and I was telling you how to do it, and I ain't never did it.
Man, yo,
I'm about to be on here too. And that's another thing how we link, man. Real recognize real, man, and what real people do, man. They don't count favors. I would have never held it over your head, man, because I know how it is to need help. You know what I'm saying? So anything
yeah.
I can do to help you, man, just reach out to me, man.
All right, thank you, bro. Thank you for having me, man.
Yup,
I
yup.
love you all.
I'm gonna,
Wow.
I'm gonna shoot through the live, man. I'm about to kick it with the people in here for a second.
All right, bro. I'm out.
All right, all right. What's up, man? I appreciate everybody for coming through, man. This is Hankin Tv, man. My name's JT. I'm an author. I wrote the book called Hankin in Love with the Game. I got the Hankin t-shirt. The definition of Hankin is when you can supply the demand and consistently turn a profit. I'm gonna ask everybody, man, to subscribe to the channel, man. Hit the like button. We're gonna be doing lives. We're gonna be doing vlogs. I just graduated from college with my bachelor's degree in filmmaking. So I'm gonna be putting some stuff together, man. I want everybody to network and connect, you know what I'm saying? But I am gonna say one thing to content creators, man. If you use my content and don't shout out my channel, I am gonna strike you. And I don't care how petty you call me. But next week I got another guest coming up, man. I got TYMB Faith from Chicago. He down there in the mix. He just got shot 4 times. So I'm gonna bring him up. We're gonna touch. We just touched down in the South. Now we're gonna touch in the Midwest. We're gonna touch in Chicago and see what's going on in the streets. And I appreciate everybody for coming through, man. And like I said, I like if y'all subscribe to the channel, man. Hit the like button, man. And tell a friend. All my social media platforms is Hankin TV. I do answer my DMs. I do interviews. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing interviews. I'm gonna be doing vlogs. I did 10 years in the joint. For a body. So I'm gonna be doing some story times. If you go to my channel, I did a couple of cooking videos because it seems like people out here be liking them prison meals. But I'm gonna tell the story, man. And I ain't looking for no clicks and views. I'm gonna tell the story about when my mom died when I was in prison, man. I wasn't allowed to go to the funeral because the charge I had, the felony I had. I had the degree of felony I had, man. And the system is kind of fucked up, man. And that's what I want to do. I want to kind of shed light on the system, you know what I'm saying? And just like a gangster situation, everybody gonna pick and choose. People gonna call him a rat. People gonna say he ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, man, society is backwards. It's cats out here right now every day hanging with known snitches. You know what I'm saying? And the same people who say snitch and they one snitch, stop playing, man. Y'all have been told that time with that type of time, especially if you ain't never did none. But like I said, man, I appreciate everybody from coming through, man. Check me out, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and I'm gonna catch y'all in a minute. Thanks.